What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to preview round 3, Port Adelaide versus Melbourne. It is a top 4 clash at the Adelaide Oval this Saturday night. It's going to be absolutely huge, and I'm very much looking forward to it. A massive game of footy, and it's going to be electric with the atmosphere, and good night for footy. Very good weather apparently as well, so I'm very much keen to see how the boys play against an outfit that has been, well, you know, they've been good, Melbourne, so we'll see how it all pans out. A lot to take in. A little bit of an earlier preview this week because I've got stuff coming out this week that's going to be really, really good to watch. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because a lot more is to come for this week and throughout the year as well. And I'm very appreciative of the support too. So let's get straight into it. Round 3 preview against Melbourne. Top 4 clash at the Adelaide Oval, Saturday night. We've been here before. Last year's game against the D's was absolutely electric. We won by a couple of points and just one of the great games of footy I've attended, and I think it was win 7 of our streak, if I'm correct. So very much looking forward to this week. A lot of things to play out, a lot of things with selection to come, and a lot of things from the Demon side of thing as well to have a look at. And I guess looking at last week's results, Port got the job done against Richmond at the MCG by 30 points, and the D's also won at the MCG, beating Hawthorn by 55 points. And well, it was probably arguably one of the worst games of football this year, not going to lie. The D's definitely flexed their muscles, and you know, they're a team to watch, that's for sure. They've got a couple of components in their side that are definitely showcasing their characteristics, and obviously Clayton Oliver is looking really, really good. Petrarca is dominating as per usual. Fritsch kicked 5 goals last week as well. Their smalls and their medium forwards are the ones to worry about the most. Cozzy Pickett, Kyle Chandler, and also Bailey Fritsch are the ones. They kicked 10 of their 13 goals last week, I'm pretty sure. So the ones to watch, and definitely don't have the big key forwards that you know we'll be worried about necessarily. So you got to look at it like that. You know, we've got Radigalia, Brendan Zerk-Thatcher, and also Alia. So 3 big tools in a side where they've got not much to play with. Like, they've got Van Rooyen, they've got Ben Brown. I think McDonald can go down forward as well if they do decide to do that switch. They won't have Stephen May this week, the D's, with a few injuries with his ribs and his back and everything like that. That got hurt last week. Jake Lever will play. So it'll be interesting to see how they match up against our 3 big key forwards with Finlayson and Dixon and Marshall as well. Smalls with DBJ and Rioli, and I wonder if Jed McEntee comes back in with his concussion. I think he might be a sub by my guess as such. And you know, I think looking at their team, our team matches up really well. Midfield versus midfield's going to be great with Petrarca and Oliver, and you know, Ed Langdon on the wing, and I'm just forgetting names. I do apologise for that, but and obviously Jack Viney as well, coming up against Rosie Butters. I wonder if Horn Francis comes back in this week. You know, his hamstring awareness does concern me a little bit, and he may miss another week, considering there is a 6-day turnaround again the week after for gather round against Essendon. So yeah, a lot of interesting things to happen at selection. I don't think Francis Evans did enough. I don't think Burgoyne did enough, and they were both, you know, one was both were on the field at the time playing. So, and Williams was a sub. So I think there's 3 candidates to definitely chop and change around with. I wouldn't make too much of an opposition change anyway. There are obviously Ruckman against Gawn, so Solo can take that with Finlayson. Do we bring in Jordan Sweet to combat that? The 2v1 Ruckman is another thing to go off of, but you know, I don't like messing with the team dynamic at the moment, and it's so early in the year where you don't really want to play play footy to match the opposition. You want to play your own game, your own style, and I think Port Adelaide are more than capable of doing that. You know, without hassling Max Gawn. Obviously, they match up really well against us. Last year we did Lycett against Gawn and Grundy, and it worked a treat, I thought. So I don't think we need to go the double up Ruckman at all. I think Lycett did a great job, but this year Solo will do it. Finlayson can chop in, Dixon can ruck predominantly down in the forward half, and yeah, I think we got that big key matchup right. I think we match up really well against the D's, and I do like that. You know, their scoring capabilities this year have really taken off the D's. They've had the game last week. Their defensive unit's really, really strong. They kept the Dogs to only 60 odd points. They kept the Hawks to less than 6 goals. The Swans, even when they bet them, only kicked 10, 11, 12 goals. So, they have that defence capability, and without Stephen May, I think our attacking half is going to be a lot more direct. I think we can get one-on-one matchups well. I think Lever takes Marshall, and then it's the other two. Dixon, who is it Big McDonald that takes Dixon. Then you've got Finlayson who can roam about. Our forward movements are a lot better, and I said this in my review of the Richmond game. We're able to lower our eyes and hit targets on the lead. It was noticeable against the Eagles. It was very noticeable in the second half against the Tigers. So the way we're able to combat that and know when to pick our moments, going long and deep or short and wide or direct through the corridor, our transition has been fantastic. We've done that multiple times on multiple occasions against both sides so far, and I'm really enjoying that aspect. Clearance work still needs a bit of... I guess everyone being on the same page, because I think Soldo's getting a lot of the taps. And I think they figured out that more last week in the second half. Ollie Wines, 10 clearances in the game and had 26 touches and was able to get the ball out and get moving. We need a bit more of that from Ollie, and his contested work around the ground was a lot more sound. So I think he's going to have to bring that this week. And he would be my pick for one to watch in terms of being a best on ground motive, is Ollie Wines taking on the big midfielders and feeding it out to the Rosie, the Butters, and the blokes on the wing as well. Bergman looked really nice last week at times and getting up forward on that wing role. I think Boak did it on occasions too. Boak seems to be, I guess both wingmen are playing that transition. They come up to the half-back flank and then basically are split lining it down each side. Boak seems to be a little bit more hanging around the contest, around the back, and Bergman is that switch play, get it direct, can see him deep inside 50 at both ends, and Boak's sort of that getaway, chip out target and, directing it down the line. So you can see what both wingmen are trying to achieve, and I do like that. I think that really fills those roles well, and playing that role, specifically Boak, 15, 20 touches is really good. Bergman doing the same. But Bergman's a lot more of that penetrating player, whereas Boak is that ground ball work, get him out, get it that short kick or that run down and creates a target. So I really like our wing set up there, and that will combat what Melbourne have. And as mentioned here before, Langdon's that run on up and down. He gets the switch kick coming out of defence, and Port and Melbourne play that similar style, that switch kick, get it going and launch. So I think it'll be a battle of the corridor really, and I've spoken many a times about how Port use the corridor, and they use the edge of the squares and they come inside direct. It's almost like a diamond how they play. I'm covering up the screen, I don't know why, but it's like, so you kick out, you come out each side, and then it's basically straight lining the centre square and pushing it through. So both teams do that really well. We'll just see how it all pans out though, won't we? Selection will be interesting. Hopefully we just get the win. 3-0 going into gather round. Enticing. I like it. So selection this week. If Juan Francis comes back in, I think he'll come straight back in. McAtee, I think, might come in as well. Evans, Burgoyne and Williams, probably the ones to drop out, in my opinion. I'm not sure if we bring in a Georgiadis or anything like that. It's hard to tell. At this stage, I don't want to make too many changes to the team. I think the structure is pretty sound. So Horn Francis if fit, McEntee if fit, both come back in for me and just make those changes there. McEntee probably the sub, if I'm honest, and maybe you keep Burgoyne in there as a rotation for the wing. So we'll see how it pans out though. My tip this week is Port Adelaide by 15 points. I think we'll be too strong, just up forward. That's my honest opinion. A winning score. We've kicked 2 winning scores so far. Without Stephen May, probably be the difference, I think. Port fans, let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this week's game. It's Todd Marshall's 100th game of footy, so we go from one big milestone to not so big, but still Todd Marshall. An incredible journey, and the way he's performing at the moment, he's the number one forward for us. He is the big guy. Obviously Dixon and Finlayson supporting him, but Marshall, the journey he's had, losing both parents, injury, has been able to become one of the best kicks in the game, and hopefully he continues. But I'm just really proud of how he's come so far. from the hardest of journeys, and he's gotten so much support and shown that faith back into the club as well with signing a contract too. So Todd Marshall, congratulations, and hopefully we get the job done for him. Thank you so much for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. And everyone else that maybe not be a Port fan, jump on board as well. Check out the Glass Table. Check out Pairs on a Pod. And we'll see you at the footy. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Anthony. And as always, can't pair.